That's Carroll Shelby's personal Cobra.
I think that's going to be the biggie right there.
What's it worth?
Having the opportunity to sell that car and to promote that car leading up to the auction was one of the most meaningful things that I have ever done in my capacity in all the years at Barrett-Jackson.
That's Carroll Shelby's personal ultimate Cobra.
That would definitely be the Cobra to end all Cobras.
I think that's going to be the biggie right there.
What's it worth?
The process of a vehicle's journey to Barrett-Jackson is a very epic one. Sometimes the consignor brings them in via his own trailer. Sometimes they have a professional trucking company bring them in. And sometimes they drive them in. Harley was absolutely focused and determined to drive that car.
Why don't we just wing it and just drive it? Seriously.
I figured out there's no talking Harley out of driving this car. If a car like that gets stalled in a long red light or something, it has a potential of overheating. It has a potential of creating some mechanical issues that would be very difficult to deal with once the car gets on site. So the next best thing was a police escort. Got a 911 for you, buddy. Okay. Need your help. I've got Harley Cluxton and our Super Snake Cobra, and we had hoped that he was going to be able to hook up with DPS and get an escort over here today. Okay. That didn't happen, and now we are like minutes away from this not happening at all. Is there any way that you could get some of your guys to bolt over there and escort him back to Westworld?
I'm ready to go. They're ready to go, and it's going to rain, so we got to go.
Clear. It was fitting that when the car arrived, it did have a police escort, and it did make it, and there was no problem getting it there.
We do sell Americana, and people are appreciating our own heritage. He beat Ferrari. His legacy should be worth as much as Ferrari's legacy.
We love you. We are proud to be a part of this with you. Wherever that car ended up, it was going to be the cornerstone of any collection.
Bidding on it, it was a blur. It went up quick.
It was so quick and so fast and so furious. You didn't know who was bidding.
We thought that car could set the record.
There were some serious buyers there for the Super Snake.
2, 3 of these guys saying, I'm going to own that car.
This is one of the heavy hits of the auction.
Super Snake.
Because there's only one.
You've got the entire world watching this happen.
Stay tuned. It's going to be a wild ride.
This is the only one that there is that'll ever be the true Shelby. It's a special car.
It doesn't get any rarer than that.
How much appreciation is going to be out there for what this represents?
Bidding on it, it was a blur. It went up quick.
I knew that that car was going to bring a lot of money.
It was so quick and so fast and so furious. You didn't know who was bidding. What was happening? Who was bidding on it? Matter of fact, where is the bid? And all of a sudden, it got down to 2 guys. And there, in this massive crowd, is our friend Ron Pratt and our new friend, Don Wallace. And every time one would shake their head no, the other guy would go ahead and come back in, and then he would shake his head no, and he'd come back in.
Those guys have been there and done that. They know if you're out or not.
It was truly incredible. It became almost surreal. It was one of those hold your breath moments that it will be hard to beat.
I just got the feeling on that card that it didn't matter if it would have brought 6 or 7 or whatever, that he was going to own that car.
The Super Snake epitomizes that entire era. It was Carroll Shelby's personal car. And the fact that Carroll Shelby owned this car and Carroll Shelby built this car to his specs is a dream come true.
I was really glad to see that he was successful because the car couldn't have gone to a better home.
Building one of the greatest car collections in the world.
Oh, just an eruption in the tent means selling the most expensive American car ever at auction or ever to sell, period.
It was more than a car to the gentleman that ended up buying the car.
There's got to be a little place somewhere in his mind that wishes he would have maybe pushed a little harder on that car.
I would like to have owned that car several times since then. I have thought I wished I would have kept going on that car.
I'm honored, really. Just because of Carroll, for what this car stands for, what Carroll's done for this country, everything. It's wonderful.
And I'll tell you, this crowd is still on its feet, even as the car rolls away. There is quite a buzz here, and for good reason. $5 million, a new record. Somebody buy that man a refreshment.
It was cool just to be up on the stage and say, hey, I was up there when a time in history was made that, that's probably a moment in Barrett Jackson history nobody's ever going to forget.
Thanks for being a legend.
And then to add to this fairy tale story, the following day, Ron flew Carroll and some of the Ford guys over to his museum, where Ron had already moved the Super Snake, already had it in place, and everybody had a little get-together at Ron's museum with the Super Snake proudly displayed.
Adios.
Carroll now owns that record of the highest American car ever sold. We have a lot of magic moments, and I say that a lot, but there's no other way to explain it. It's not an illusion, it's really happening. It's real magic.
Down the road on Barrett Jackson, Life on the Block.
Bill Grumpy Jenkins is probably the most notorious and noted drag racer for Chevrolet of all time.
It's the last car that I won an NHRA race in. Who are you getting your bid from? They gotta be at least 18 years old.
2007 Boost Custom Coupe. Whoever buys a car gets a design meeting with me.
If you give 310, I'll give you Amy's time.